As you start optimizing your pages, the basic principle is putting keywords on the pages and primary places that people will read and that search engines will understand that these words and phrases are more important than other phrases. Page titles are the primary place that we're going to focus on. I believe that page titles are the most important piece of content on your page. I believe it's as much as 60 to 80% of the weight that search engines give to any content on the page, they put it on the page title. Because it shows up in the search engine results page, and because it shows up at the top of the browser, this is vitally important information. This is where you describe the content on your page, and you have 65 characters to do it. You see, if you're over that 65 character limit, give or take a few, your title gets cut off, and you receive the ellipsis there. People, as they're reading through the results, they're going to respond to a specific thought. They want to see what are my options as they are evaluating the page titles here. So there's a couple different things that you can do when you structure your title that will enable you to rank well. Now again, all search engine optimizers have come from very different backgrounds, and so we've all approached this very differently. The key here is to show you how many different ways you can structure your title, and then you choose what works best for you. I like, obviously, the number one ranking because it's a full sentence. It describes specifically the content that's on that page. It uses the keyword of tennis racket, and then it has the brand name at the end. To me, that's the perfect title tag because it uses a complete sentence, which is very easy to read, the keyword, and then the brand name is at the end. I don't like putting the brand name first, as some other titles do, because I believe that you want your keywords at the front, not your brand name. The second option here, you'll notice, has tennis rackets, tennis shoes, tennis apparel. They might offer all of these things, but as you'll notice, the title is longer than the character limit, and so it just seems to go on, listing keywords, and they are relevant, but what are you trying to rank for on the home page? You see, what we're seeing here, and a couple other options, is just simply a list of keywords separated by a comma. People don't read lists as fast as they read sentences, which is why I still like that number one result. Now this one is a little more specific. It's tennis rackets, and then we see brand names. I think that's a really good approach there because if you do sell a lot of brand names, people respond to brands even though they may have searched for the general term of tennis rackets. Short titles tend to work very well. So when you are just simply stating what it is, it gives you a chance to rank very well. And even though this title does not include both keywords, such as tennis and rackets, just with racket and research and the content that's there enables it to rank well. Now the next three are all very similar, and we see keywords separated by a comma and keywords separated by a bar. Really the same thing, there's no difference. And like I said, it's up to you to determine what's going to be the best way for you to structure your title. The next important element of the page, and it's not the most important element for rankings, your meta description really does not affect your rankings that much. What it does do is provide a compelling reason for people to click on your result. This is the first marketing message a searcher will see about your company. So it's vital that you spend time developing a unique meta description for each page. Now, in your meta description, it's a great place to put keywords because, as you'll notice, the search word was tennis racket. So any place the word tennis or racket is used in the title or meta description or even the URL, you'll notice that it's bold. And when people look at the search results, what they're doing is scanning the search results very quickly to try and find the result that best matches their search. In eye tracking tests, what they have found is that people tend to keep their gaze in the upper left-hand corner and then drift down and stay to the left. But those little red X's, Those are the key words that are bolded in the results, where people's eyes have stopped for just a moment. You see, as people are quickly browsing through the results, where their eyes are being drawn to are the key words that have the phrases that they're looking for. So your meta description is a way for you to reinforce the primary keyword, but also provide other words that are related, such as brand names, related product attributes, things that will enable people to know that you have more than just what you're optimizing for. The title is vitally important, because if the title tag is exactly the same on every single page of your website, that's all you're going to rank for. There are many companies that all we have done in the optimization is change the title tag, and within months they have doubled or tripled the amount of visitors they've gotten from search engines. It's that important. So just a quick review. The title tag shows up in the search engine results, the top of the browser. The meta description comes from the code behind the page. Now, one of the other things that I want to cover is the URL of the page. You see, Target had a problem. They weren't being spidered well because their URL was extremely long and complex. The more characters, letters, numbers, and the longer that URL is, the more of an obstacle it presents to the search engine. And so that's one key area that you want to keep in mind. And so you can see how Target has changed. Now they have named this page Baby Cribs. It's very simple. They've gotten rid of the long, complex URL, and they've changed it to a simple, word-based URL. The word makes a lot more sense to humans, and it makes a lot more sense to search engines as well, because the URL also shows up in the search results, and if there is a keyword in the URL, it will show up as well. So not just your page URLs, but as you name your pages, .php or .html, or like this through a subdirectory, use keywords, because that will resonate with both humans and search engines, and it also boosts your rankings capability. So these key page elements, the page title, which I said is probably about 80% of your entire page's relevancy. Everything else really just sort of is a percentage point or less added up. But as we're looking for context, the more you apply keywords into all these areas, the better off you'll be and the more relevance you'll create. So you want to look at the page title, the page description, the page URL, the page headings, such as the headline, subheading. We'll get more into that. Also, any links that are on the page. Don't just link the URL, but use link text. Use words as you link to ascribe more value to the page and more context to what that link is about. And we're going to dive very deeply into links in future chapters.